So recently, it seems that most of the shows I talk about are shows that I've rewatched. Actually, never mind. No, what the fuck am I on about? Yeah, I rewatched just because, and then made a video on it. But in reality, I'm pretty sure that's the only one that I've rewatched and made a video on. So I don't know why I said that. I really have no idea what I'm going to say in this video right now. But I want to talk about ReLife because, like I said, I just finished rewatching it a couple days ago, and I really enjoyed the show. I think it's great. I enjoyed it the first time. I think the second time around I enjoyed it more, and that might be because I can appreciate story writing and character writing a bit better now than I could back then. I would just watch anything mindlessly, whereas now, like, a show has to be worth my time and be decent for me to sit through and watch however many episodes there are of it. But yeah, so if you don't know what ReLife is, ReLife is an anime about a guy who's 27 years old and he doesn't have a job. He's unemployed. Well, he works part time, but he feigns having a full time job in front of his friends because he's ashamed of the fact he doesn't have a real job. And right at the beginning of the story, right when we're introduced to him, he goes out for drinks, and his mother calls him and says that she's no longer going to start. She's going to stop giving him money because, well, he's 27 and needs to get a stable job. The reason as to why he doesn't have a stable job is because he quit his first job after only working there for 3 months. You find out why he quit later on, and it does justify why he did that. Because normally, quitting a job that early, especially when you give the reason of, the workplace just wasn't for me, is a bit sketch. Because how do you know if a place isn't for you within 3 months? It might just be a rocky start and things might work out. You never know. But given the circumstances that he finds himself in, yes, it's very, very justified. But maybe even telling you that is a slight spoiler. But if you watch the show, you'll soon find out why he is the way that he is. But anyway, because of that, he lost a lot of his social skills and couldn't do well in interviews. And also the interviews that when he did get to grips with socializing and the interview routine, he couldn't get a job because, well, nobody wanted to hire someone that quit after 3 months because, well, he might do the same thing again and he can, well, be a liability. So he struggles to get a job. And then when walking home after hitting up the izakaya, someone approaches him and offers him a ReLife. Cue credits. It's an unoriginal joke, and I apologize. No, I don't. Anyhow, and ReLife is a program. Well, it's more of an experiment than a program, and he will be paid, living expenses covered completely while he's taking part in this experiment. And after the 1 year that the experiment will run for, he will be given a job. But what is the experiment? Well, ReLife produced a drug that makes you look 10 years younger. And the whole point of the ReLife experiment is for the main character to go back into high school and re-find who he once was before he ended up the way he is now, and to, well, be able to succeed in life after finishing this year and getting a job put into his lap. Well, somewhat. He still has to put the effort in. And so, the story is now set in a high school where everyone around him is 16, 17-year-olds, and he is physically 27, but he looks 17. Now, that's not all there is to the ReLife scheme, though. When his term comes to an end, at the end of the 1 year, everyone he interacted with will have their memories of him wiped, so it will be as if he was never there. 17-year-old him is an illusion. He never existed, to prevent any discrepancies that having two of him existing could cause. So he has to make the most of this 1 year, integrate himself with these high schoolers, help them with their problems, but not make them, well, not necessarily not make them dependent on him, but from his perspective, he doesn't want all their memories to be related to him, especially in a crucial time of their third year of high school, their last year in high school. to be forgotten because he's a part of all of them. And it's this interesting balance as we see him interact with these high schoolers, fix their problems, help their relationships. It's a really, really good human drama, and it's genuinely a really good watch. Now, there is a little bit of dissatisfaction with the ending and the last OVA episode, simply because I don't know if it's dissatisfaction, but it's something I've heard, is that when the ending of the anime aired, the manga hadn't even got close to that point. I believe they have pretty much the same ending, however, the anime ended much, much before the manga did. And as such, there will be plot points that are rushed, and you'll notice that especially toward the later part of ReLife, last handful, like 5 or 6 episodes, the reason I say it's 17 episodes long, by the way, so that isn't like half the show, that is like the last bit. You'll notice that, yes, the same amount of story beats happen, but the amount of physical time they take up is much greater. For example, almost all of summer just kind of passes by, and only like 2 things happen. But yeah, that's one thing you have to bear with because of the fact that they had to get through to the end that they wanted to get to without anything to base it off of. So yeah, that's one thing. If that puts you off, then you can go read the manga, because I've heard great things about the manga. I mean, the anime is fantastic. I mean, so the manga must be even better. And I do plan to read the manga at some point in the future, just to get even more of the story, because I really like it. The cast is great. Yeah, it's a very character-driven story, if you hadn't already figured that out. And that's probably why I like it. I love my character-driven stories because, well, for me, the characters are the most important part in an anime, or at the very least, are one of the biggest deciding factors in whether a show will be to my liking or not. So yeah, I recommend you go watch ReLife. Even if what I've just said hasn't quite convinced you, give it a watch. As a concept, it's really, really interesting. If you're watching Bokutachi no Remake, or think Bokutachi no Remake is interesting, it's very similar. It's a different spin on the thing, on the whole concept of going back to your youth and reliving it. But it is similar in that vein. I did mention that Bokutachi is similar to ReLife. Yep, so even if what I've said hasn't piqued your interest, maybe watch the first 2 or 3 episodes and decide if it's for you after that. And I'm 90% sure you'll enjoy it, because it is really, really good. Especially when we get into some of the more spoilery plot points that I won't touch on here, simply because, well, I want you to experience that for yourself. And yeah, I think that'll do for everything I'm going to say on ReLife for this video. I didn't really know what I was going to say beforehand, as I said, and I just kind of went on with it. This is all off the top of my head, so I can't think of anything else to say, but there's probably some really important things that I've missed, like I always do. But yeah, maybe I'll make another video if I think of anything else. But yeah, if you like this video, well, leave a like, comment, sub, hit the notification bell, do whatever the fuck you feel like, and with all that said, I've been Animosity, you've been you, and I'll catch you all next time for another video. Ta-ta for now.